Welcome to Attican Plays, Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. All right, hi, this is Attican, and welcome to part 2 of our first playthrough of Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. We're doing everything on the hardest settings, and we have in the first episode, let me get these ugly wireframe out of the way. Okay, so in the first episode, we set up this city right here. We set up a refinery that imports oil. We've got a train line running from this loading station to go into Molna, into Molna and sell off our fuel and bitumen that we're creating. And in the last episode, into the first one, I said, well, I think what I want to do is build a sister city to this one in order to get more people in here, because our biggest investment is that sucker right there, the refinery, which cost us 500,000 rubles roughly, plus some other. It cost us a lot, plus all this we built was really to support it. We're only getting 82 workers, and we can get a few more workers in here. And as we grow and as we continue to teach people and have effective schools, we will be able to get more people into this area to work. But what we really ought to do is figure out how can we get more and more people. Now, I said make a sister city, and my plan was, and we could still do this, but I think I'm going to delay this a bit. We can still build a sister city. My plan was originally to put a sister city out here, connected by rail along this border, run a passenger station here and just shuttle people into work, and then build infrastructure out here if we needed to support those people. But what I've had here is a second thought. I thought about, when I look at this land right in here, it doesn't look real appealing. Even on a wireframe, if you look at it, it's kind of ugly land. But we're not building big buildings like another industry, because we've got this big industry already built that we would need to do. We're going to build things with smaller footprints, namely these shopping and apartments and stuff like that. Plus, we want to leverage the investment we made in our hospital, which really we've got it cut down to a small size. We're only like 1/5 of its potential in terms of staffing, and our firehouse, which could cover a much more area. So what I think we'd like to do in this episode is expand this city out this way. And as you can see, it's pretty good right in there, a little rough right through there, but we can straighten it out. And then we get into some pretty good building areas. So we can just keep making Molna bigger and bigger until we have, kind of maxed out our capacity or ability to generate fuel and bitumen in that Molna oil refinery. And the good news is, and by doing this, we've already got our power. All we need to do is run some more medium lines down this way to set up another city down here, or another, you want to think of it as neighborhood or module. We can tie it in right here, and that way our hospital and firehouse will be effective in going that way. So I think that, and look at this over here, this is good building area over here. So I think a thing to do is just to expand our existing city to the whatever direction this is. If I really don't know. Whatever direction is down the screen, that's what we're going to do. So let's see what happens if we build our road. Like so. And this road will be a good indicator of how rough. Oh, look at this. This road is not. That's pretty smooth, folks. We can work with that. We can work with that. Let's think about how big do we want to make this. I kind of like to design, and I don't want to do cookie cutter exact worker blocks like, this isn't Pharaoh, although I love Pharaoh. If you haven't played that one, that's a highly recommended, great game. But do want to kind of come up with an idea of sizing that for a neighborhood size that seems to work is this basically. This and this out here are kind of pushing it a bit, but this size right here. So what does that come down to? That comes down to, let's see here. about 22-ish squares this way. So probably 22 by 22 square. Let's try that. Let's build like a little 22 by 22 square and see if we can't build a nice city out of that. See if we can kind of come up with a template for doing some nice cities. And I don't want to mess with this over here unless this road will go through easily. It says infrastructure is blocking it. What is there? Oh, it's that that little crosswalk right there. Believe it or not, that's what's causing that problem. But if we go away from that, it'll actually build a road out here pretty easily. Interesting. Maybe this isn't as ugly as I thought it was. All right, so let's see if we can't get rid of that little crosswalk for the moment. And build a road like so. Aha. Some other infrastructure is in the way. And now it isn't. Strange. Okay. Okay, now it's starting to get a little bit ugly. Okay, and if we think of our boundary as kind of being right here, okay, getting a little bit uglier. Pardon my driving. There we go. Good deal. So 22, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 is the corner of the hospital. 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Somewhere out in here. That's too small. 19, 20, 22 should be over here. Pardon me. I've been paying for that. Silly, silly, silly. Okay, a little crooked, a little messed up, but just the same. Should work. Let's see what we can do with that. Okay. And I think what I'd like to do with this one is make sort of a large bus stop right in the middle, in the heart of the thing, and have that bus stop, another bus stop up here to drop off. So let's do that first. Let's put make sure we can get a good bus stop up here. Well, up here maybe would be better. Ah. And one thing I noticed, this is a mistake from last time, forgot to build a fuel station, a gas station, or whatever you want to call it. And look at our little ambulances here. They're empty of fuel. That's why they're not going anywhere. I thought, man, our health is really good. Our ambulances don't even leave the station. They're not leaving the station because they don't have any fuel. So we're going to need to put a gas station. I think what we're going to do is put it over here, kind of halfway in the route or something. It'll be, the buses will divert and go to it occasionally, but I can't think of a better place to put it, really. It's more convenient for what we're trying to do. So here's a gas station. And kind of to add insult to injury on this gas station, we will we will purchase the fuel. We will import fuel for our gas station. Okay. Go ahead and build that. Build that. Build that. And that. We're also going to need a road depot where we can buy our road vehicles. In other words, basically our buses. Okay, I'm going to try to lower this part right along the road so that the connection will be easier, and let's see if that helps us. A little curve, but it worked. All right, so I take back what I said about the buses. I'm going to put a bus right in the middle and work around the bus. But what I really want to do is have a community of apartments. We'll use a different style just to look different. A community of apartments here with a worker-only bus stop and direct the people who live in the apartments in here to go to that bus stop and to go to work. Well, I'll show you. I'll show you when we get it built how that works. And I just realized what would be nice is if we could get a road that went up there. It doesn't really matter. Wanted to run. I was thinking about building a road up there as kind of the quick route to this bus stop for the purposes of our workers. However, I'm thinking about traffic. There is no traffic. We don't have cars. there's almost zero traffic in this system. So let us. I want to double check. I'm fairly certain. Well, let's make sure these people can walk to work. Yes, they can. It's a very short walk. Good deal. All right, so how many workers do we want? We would like another 400. That's 1,200 people. 1,200 people. 1,200 people. These are nice little compact they're worth 75 each. We would need 15 of them to do the job. Why not? We'll just fill up these two spaces with the exception. Yeah, this area here is kind of rough. Let's see first of all. Let's see if we can smooth this out a little bit. All right, let's see what we can do here. 75 is not enough. Okay, we can get 120 from these, but we could only put like one. No, we can't put enough. Let's go ahead back to these 75 a piece. And we'll put a bus stop in, and then we'll see if we can put housing around that, and if we can't, we'll move the roads. One lesson you're probably all seeing it. The really compact builds are not the way to go. You need some space. It appears. And I could be wrong. But. And we're going to turn these around, just fit them in and not try to make them look so cookie cutter. How about that? How about if we just kind of flip them different ways and I don't really want, well, that's all right. Not crazy, but I don't really care if we have that many road connections, but they seem to be fitting nicely like that. Leave some space for paths in between. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's about 700 workers. Now I'm running a little experiment here. We're going to have probably some redundancy here in terms of pubs and groceries and small stores, and of course they have to be staffed. But I want to see if we can be more efficient. That's just a bad spot. Be more efficient with our workers in terms of getting them to the factory, if we can make it easier on them to get to the watering hole and to the grocery store and whatever else they need to get to. So the plan I'm thinking is all of these up here are going to go to that bus stop, which is going to go to this one, which is going to say go to work there. So anybody who comes into that, any worker who comes into that bus stop will go to work in the refinery. So once we set up our routes, that part will be taken care of. And all we'll have to do now is build these apartments and tell them to go there to work. And we'll have a bus route that goes from there to there, of course. All right, so that should make sense. I hope that makes sense to you. And now we need to make sure that we can staff this stuff down here. We're taking advantage of the firehouse and the hospital we've already built. So I guess I said I was going to build a synergistic city. I guess I am. This is just not. This is not what was in my head when I was saying that in part one. But it really is. This is really another city in a way, or another module, or another neighborhood, however you want to think of it, that is synergistic with this one. But only in this case, it's because one, they're both helping this out, and we're taking advantage of doubling up, getting more bang for our buck from our hospital and our firehouse. So we're going to need some staffing for down here. So 15, 30, 50, 67, 70 or 80. So a couple of these apartments would probably get the job done. So, and we'll monitor that and see if we need more. But a couple of these little 75 worker prefabs, if we can fit them in here anywhere. Okay, and then we're going to need some recreation areas. And my first take on all this after doing this is that 22 by 22 and then squaring it off idea. Horrible idea. I won't do that again. It's not big enough. It's just absolutely not big enough. Well, take that back. After all that work we did to, well, let's see where we want to put it. Ballparks, fields, places to play. Yeah, see how far down you have to go? It's ridiculous. Okay. And I don't mean that as a criticism. I'm just, it is what it is. I grossly underestimated how much space you need for some of this stuff. Okay, let's put a path. All right, we have 492. Our roads are going to cost us 25. That's nothing. Oh, we need that vehicles. Out here would be a good place for it. It's under infrastructure, roads, road vehicles depot. Now, one thing I did not do is think about the power for this. I mean, I thought about it and then proceeded to forget about it. So let's go get a substation. Well, one in the middle, look at that. How beautiful would that be? Is that even possible? We can fit one in here somehow. And I think we might be able to if we can take out Okay, when you're doing your deletions, the cancel is a better tool to use, I must say. Oh, it's cancel path. That's what I want. Path, cancel footpath. There we go. That way you don't get those accidentally deleting all kinds of other stuff. I'm trying to teach myself to stick with cancel rather than delete whenever possible. So I want power, substation. Come on, buddy, fit in there. Fit in there. It's not going to. Roads. No, paths. Cancel. Okay, there it'll fit. Now let's back up and see if it'll. Okay, I think that right there will do it. I don't know which way it's pointed. Okay. I guess it makes a lot of difference. Okay. Right there, I think will hit everybody. And those things are easy to lose. Did I build it? There it is. See, those are hard to see. Let's just go ahead and build that one before I lose it again. Okay. Stop, please. Now we need to run a power line. Let's run one off of this. Let's do a medium. Let's cancel out, knock down that one right there. Put in a switch. Run our line back up here and down here to reconnect. And then Where am I trying to go? Oh, way down here. Sorry. Okay, make sure we still got power here. Nope. Stop. Oh, we need to build that. We need to build the switch. Okay, make sure we didn't mess this up. Good. It's still working, so we still have our power up here. And we should have power down here. Yep, we do. And if I haven't mentioned this before, a good way you can look at this is the voltage shows us we've got plenty of power or supply coming in. The wattage is, you could think of that as your demand. Now, technically, that's not exactly right, but the voltage is the power being generated and sent through these lines. The wattage is the power that's required from each of the users of the electricity. So if you want to oversimplify, here's our supply and here's our demand. See, this one has no demand on it whatsoever. This guy here has about almost 1 megawatt, which isn't very much. We can get as much as 10 megawatts out of this guy here. So see, right now he's providing us with about 1.5, because that's how much we're pulling down on our whole system, 1.5 watts or megawatts, excuse me. So so we won't have any trouble supplying all of this out of that one import connection. Obviously, our costs are going to go up, but it's not going to create any difficulties for us. So let's just go ahead. We got plenty of money. Let's go ahead and build out this section. And actually, let's see if we can build out all these and maybe get the paths to build. That would be nice. I love being able to plan these out. It is a bit of a pain to have to go back and queue up the building, though. I'm just not a micromanager kind of guy. Let's see if those paths will be created now. No, they don't. That's a bummer. It queues them up like they're going to be built, but then they're not built. Maybe that's another opportunity for improvement. And the pathing matters a lot. In fact, speaking of that, let's see if we can fix what we messed up with our little... Yeah. Yeah, it didn't do too much damage with our substation. I better watch the money here. Get a little carried away. Remember, if we go broke, we go dead. We would have to be selling stuff off even to survive. The paths are cheap and vital, so let's see if we can get them going. And then I want to quickly get over there and get that bus route going because, and tell these people where to go to work. Stop. And I've done it again, haven't I? I should have built those roads with gravel and then put the auto build on and then gone over them and updated them to what I wanted. It would have been so easy. I'll learn. I'll learn. Maybe. All right, let's get our buses going. Go from here. No, that's not right. Go from here to here. And we could actually, in fact, we could run the workers directly into the refinery if we wanted to. But we may want flexibility. We didn't even need this, so we could have I just run them directly into the factory, but that's okay. We'll run them. I'm going to get rid of this guy. Platform to platform 2, start. Okay, look at that, 71 workers waiting to go to work. Beautiful. 89, beautiful. I must have run it backwards. Okay, I'm going to get rid of those hideous nighttime wireframes and buy another bus and build the line from here to here and go. Here he comes out. Picks up 57 workers. Good deal. So let's just watch this and see if we get up like 130, 140 on workers here. There they all go off the bus and straight to the refinery, and there we go. That's getting better. That's getting better. And the intent of all this is just to get more and more workers into that refinery consistently, so that the production just gets higher and higher. We want to take advantage of all the things we've set up. We want to maximize what we're getting out of them. And I mean, the big is we want that refinery. That's our whole country right now. Our country is based on that refinery right there. And I'm going to watch this and stay at 100,000. So if I can get something built and stay above 100,000, I'm just going to keep building. Not 100,000 anymore, are we? So what we should start seeing over time, our goal, of course, is to see this train coming in here and spending very little time, because we'll have a full load waiting on it. Now, we're a long way from there yet because he's got such a nice short haul. But that's our goal. We want to keep adding people into this system until we have that. What is that? Okay, we're not at 100,000. Don't build it. Okay, now you can build it. So now we're up at like 150 workers. That's much, much better. Not where we want to be yet, and we'll keep working on that. But this is much better. That larger number we can get in that refinery means we're producing goods faster, means we're exporting faster, we're making a higher rate of our trade surplus, not our profit, our trade surplus, and our economy is getting stronger and stronger. So we're going to cut this one off right here by basically doubling our city size. We've doubled our throughput and doubled our trade surplus, and we're going to keep following that approach until we get that refinery really rocking and rolling. In fact, I'm going to go off and continue to do some building and expand a little bit to keep growing that refinery. And when we get back to something a little more interesting or different, we'll rejoin the videos. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it'll help you become a better player, and I hope you'll join us for our next Workers and Resources Soviet Republic video. Thank you.